What is up, my Lorcana goons? This is Kevin. Welcome to the Lorcana Goons channel, where we talk about some Lorcana stuff. And today we're going to be going over multiple top 8 deck lists from some tournaments that happened over the weekend. So let's kick back and check out what's going on in the metagame and see what Rise of the Floodborn has been doing to our meta, right? If you are a Lorcana goon, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and join our Discord. We have Paying No Ahead up in the Discord this week, who was helping us out by providing so many deck lists and so many different theories about these deck lists. So if you yourself are a Lorcana goon and you want to participate in these awesome discussions, be sure to join our Discord. The link is in the description below. I appreciate you goons who are in the Discord. You guys know who you are. Thank you so much for always participating and just making this Lorcana journey so much more better. But yeah, we have a couple lists. So the first one we have is actually going to be the one that we posted on our Twitter. This was the top 8 from Nat 20 Games, a Rise of the Floodborn case tournament, right? So this was a case tournament held in the US. It was pretty small, I'm not gonna lie. I believe there was about less than 16 players. But we do have a top 8 deck list from those players with a first and second place that ended up splitting. So I do want to go over these lists real quick. Shout out to Nat 20 Games. We really appreciate you guys for giving us this list and hosting tournaments for the local community. We have Tyler Burdett with this Ruby Sapphire deck list, and it's going to play 4 of the following: Flavorsham, Nick Wild, Maui, Mickey Mouse, Tamatoa, Maleficent, Dragonfire, One Jump Ahead, Be Prepared, Shield of Virtue, Popsicle, and that's going to be all for the 4 ofs. For 3 ofs, we have Queen of Hearts, Aladdin, the shiftable Queen of Hearts, the big Aladdin, and then we also have 2 drops in here. We have some more 4 drops. We have 2 Dinner Bell and 2 Eye of the Fates. So pretty interesting deck list. It's a list that we've been seeing a lot this week. It is the Popsicle control deck list. As you can see, this deck is very reliant on keeping control of the board. It's going to be like the new Ruby Amethyst control deck of the format. A pretty cool deck. It takes advantage of Popsicle, Flavorsham, and Nick Wild, so you can constantly draw cards. This is the reason why starter deck cards like Flavorsham have gone all the way up to about $8 to $10 for the rares. So it's pretty cool. Shout out to Tamatoa, for coming back into the metagame. We thought Tamatoa was only good for the aerial item deck, but now it looks like it's getting a lot more support in the next format for Rise of the Floodborn. So congrats to you, Tyler Burdett. We have Kendall Burdett. Wow, I wonder if there's a relation there. We have a Ruby Amethyst deck profile. This looks a lot more like the Ruby Amethyst stuff from last format. For 4 ofs, we have Pascal, Madame Mim Snake, LeFou, Madame Mim Fox, Maleficent that draws a card, Sorceress. We have Merlin Goat, Merlin Rabbit, Maui, Hero to All. We have the shiftable Yzma, and we have 4 Maleficent Dragon, 4 Friends on the other side, 4 Be Prepared. There's also some cards that we run in 3s. That's going to be like Arthur and the Sorcerer's Spellbook, which lets you gain a lore. And then there's a couple 2 ofs in this deck, like Elsa Spirit of Winter and Dragonfire. So pretty interesting. Oh, and 2 Lady Tremaine, the shiftable Lady Tremaine. Shiftable Lady Tremaine being a very powerful card. I think Sorcerer's Spellbook is another card that's slept on. I think it helps speed the game up a lot when you're playing a Ruby Amethyst deck. Notice how we don't have to play evasive characters anymore, which is great. We can actually play good cards in Ruby Amethyst that do things that aren't just sitting on the board against the matchups, right? And that being the Merlin and Madame Mim Fox engine. You don't really have to expand too heavy on that engine either. What's cool is that you really only have to play the rabbit, the goat, and the fox, and you can pretty much generate some good value with those alone. But obviously you combo it off with the extra snake, the Arthur capabilities, and you start ramping up lore really quick. So shout out Kendall Burdett. Our next list is Jimmy Slocum. Shout out to you. This is another Ruby Sapphire. It's going to consist of 4 flavors, 4 Nick Wilds, 4 Mauis, 4 Brave Little Taylor Mickeys, 4 Tamatoas, 4 Maleficent Dragon, 4 Dragonfire, 4 One Jump Ahead, 4 Be Prepared, Shield of Virtue, Popsicle. Those are all the 4 ofs. Then we have some 3 ofs, very similar to the other list we saw, with both Queen of Hearts. Ruby Queen of Hearts are going to be in 3s. So we also have 3 of both Aladdin, the small Aladdin and the shiftable Aladdin. And then last we have 2 Fishbone Quill and 2 Eye of the Fates. Wow, pretty cool deck list. I'm a fan of Fishbone Quill. I would say maybe I want to run more than two Fishbone Quill in my deck. Obviously, saw results here with this top 8 list. This deck is scary, guys. This deck is going to be a top contender in the meta this format. Our next list is another Ruby Amethyst. Very interesting. Kind of similar to the list we just saw. Actually, a lot of notable differences. This one is playing Olaf. It's playing Mini. It's going to be playing the Madam Mim Dragon. And it seems to be playing the new Scar legendary as well, Vicious Cheater. Ooh, we also have Teeth and Ambitions at 4 in this deck. So this one's kind of cool. So 4 ofs in this deck. We have Madam Mim Snake, Arthur, Madam Mim Fox, Maleficent Sorceress, 3-drop Aladdin, Maui Hero to All, 4 Lady Tremaine actually, wow, Maleficent Dragon, and then 4 Teeth and Ambitions, 4 Friends on the other side. For three ofs, we have Olaf, Minnie Mouse for our winning characters. There's 3 each in those. Then there's 3 of the Scarvicious Cheater and 3 Madam Mim Dragon. I wonder how often those came up. And then there's even some 2 ofs in this deck. We have Dr. Facilier. That's going to be the 2 ink character with 0-4. And then we even have 2 Dragonfire and only 2 Merlin Goat. Okay. Very interesting ratios. Oh, and 2 Queen of Hearts, the one that has Rush. Interesting that he doesn't play the shiftable Queen of Hearts, but this is how I play as well. I don't play the 5-drop Queen of Hearts. I only play the 2-drop Queen of Hearts because I think this card is just better. I don't think you need, in some decks, obviously, but I think this card is just great. So good against the current like aggro matchups. We have some more lists from this same tournament. We have a lemon lime list that's going to discard your hand by Jackie McCloy. Check this out. This is going to be a list that consists of 4 Simbas, Stitch, Flynn Rider, the 2-drop, Cheshire Cat, Prince John, Daisy Duck. There's going to be 4 Rockstar Stitch as well, Hypnotize, You Have Forgotten Me, Sudden Chill, and Mother Knows Best. We have 3 of the following: Cinderella, Beast Relentless, and Lucifer the Kitty Cat. And then 2 of the following: we have Mad Hatter, 2 Ring the Bell, and 2 World's Greatest Criminal Mind. And we're only playing 1 Bell Hidden Archer. Very interesting list here. Obviously taking advantage of that discard engine, and probably also taking advantage of Amber's ability to gain a bunch of advantage with Rockstar Stitch and your 2-drop characters, as well as You Have Forgotten Me and World's Greatest Criminal Mind. Very cool list. Congrats to you, Jackie McCloy, on this awesome lemon lime. There's also a amber amethyst list that I want to go over. This one is going to consist of 4 Cinderellas, Lilos, Stitches, Pascal, Simba, Madam Mim Snake, Arthur, Madam Mim Fox, Maleficent Sorceress, Merlin Goat, 4 Rockstar Stitch, 4 Friends on the other side, and then we have some 3 ofs as well. The following: it's going to be Pinocchio, the Star Attraction, that's the 2-drop character, 3 Hades, 3 Be Our Guest, and 3 Lantern. Pretty awesome. That's the whole deck list. Seems very consistent. I've seen lists like this a lot on Pixelborn, and they are taking over. Let me tell you, these aggro lists are definitely something to fear. It was a small tournament, but still nonetheless. And now we have the first and second place by Franklin and Elliot. This is second place by Elliot Cannon. This is going to be a Sapphire Steel list consisting of 4 of the following: Captain Hook, Prince Eric Bell, Strange but Special, Captain Hook Shiftable, the 5-ink one, the 6-drop Steel Kronk, 4 Hades. We have 4 Develop Your Brain, Fire the Cannons, Smash, Whole New World, Grab Your Swords, Beast's Mirror, and Fishbone Quill. All of these cards playing 4 ofs in this deck. And then we have Beast Hard-Headed, the one that pops an item. We have 3 of those in here. 3 Let It Go. We also have 2 Cinderella Stout-Hearted. And that's going to round off the deck and top it off. This is a very interesting list. I feel like this is very powerful now that we've got these bumps in steel that give us cards like Resist, like the Kronk and Cinderella. That's always nice to see. But it seems like a list that's also very similar to the last format. Not many changes in this. So there you go, guys. Maybe you guys want to enter some tournaments with your last format deck lists and just add a little bit of spice, you know, like 4 Kronk, 2 Cinderella. It seems like it'll get you there. Elliot Cannon seems to have some good results with it. And then we have our first place list with Emerald Steel playing 4 of the following: Captain Hook, Enchantress, Flynn Rider, the 2-ink character, Prince John, Daisy Duck. We also have 4 Fire the Cannons, 4 Hypnotize, Smash, Sudden Chill, and 4 Beast's Mirror. We have 3 of the following: we have Simba, Future King, that's the 1-ink character, 3 of the Huntsman, Cheshire Cat, We also have 3 Lucifer and 3 Cusco, followed up by 3 Donald Duck, the shiftable character from Emerald. Pretty awesome. And last but definitely not least, we have 2 of the Steel Tiana. Definitely a power card in a deck like this where it looks like you can get rid of your entire hand and just go for game, right? So, and interesting. I wonder if Tiana is slept on. So, that is going to be the Nat 20 Games top 8 for their opening weekend case tournament, which is pretty cool. Glad to hear that they held a case tournament for their opening weekend. I feel like you don't see that often, right? So I did check their Melee GG, and it does seem like there was less than 16 players, so it was a small tournament. We do have a tournament that had 27 players, 37 players. I think it was 37 players. Yeah, it was a 37 player tournament from the United Kingdom. So we have our first place list. It's going to be a Amber Steel list. Check that out. No surprise here. Amber Steel making comebacks in the meta. Can't be surprised in my opinion. And this looks like a pretty standard list, very reminiscent of last format, consisting of 4 Cinderellas, 4 Stitches, 4 the Queen, 4 Cinderella, the 2 ink character, Ariel, Rapunzel, the Queen commanding presence. We have 4 Rockstar Stitch, 4 a Giant Tinkerbell, and 4 Let the Storm Rage On. Okay. We also play the following in threes. We have Cinderella, Stout-Hearted, and Lantern. Grab Your Swords, A Whole New World. So, and we also place a couple cards in twos like Benja, Strength of a Raging Fire. And last, we're playing 1-ofs in this deck. We have 1 Beast Tragic Hero and 1 World's Greatest Criminal Mind. Interesting ratios. I feel like I'm not a big fan of World's Greatest Criminal Mind. I don't know if I would only play 1 though, because it seems like a card that I do need to see in the mirror match. And in general, I don't like playing 1-ofs in Lorcana. 1-ofs in Lorcana, I just feel like I never see them. Maybe it's different in this deck though, because obviously Whole New World, Rapunzel, Carefree Surface Stitch are just drawing you a bunch of cards, but this looks like a very solid list. Very glad to see Amber Steel still making waves in the meta because I'm playing Amber Steel. We have another Amber Steel list right here. This is going to consist of a 4 Cinderella, 4 Stitch, 4 Queen package, 4 Simbas as well, along with Ariel's, the big shiftable Queen, Stitch Rockstars, 4 Tinkerbell, 4 Let the Storm Rage On, Whole New World, and Grab Your Swords. We also play 3 of the following: Rapunzel, World's Greatest Criminal Mind, Carefree Surfer Stitch, and we don't play any 2-ofs, but we, again, 1-ofs in this deck. We play 1 Strength of a Raging Fire. Very interesting, very interesting. I think Strength of a Raging Fire is a great card. Again, I'm not a fan of playing 1-ofs, but congrats to the second place person who made it to second place with Amber Steel. So wow, first and second place, Amber Steel. Notice how that other tournament had 0 Amber Steel. All right, our next list is going to be a Emerald Steel list. It is playing 4 of the following: 1 ink Captain Hook, 2 ink Cinderella, 2 ink Jafar, 4 of the Tinkerbell Tiny Tactician, 4 of the shiftable Jafar, the Floodborn. Then we have 4 Beast Relentless, that's the Emerald Beast, 4 Giant Tinkerbell, 4 Cinderella Stout-Hearted, 4 Ring the Bell, that's our action card that pops characters that are damaged. Very cool, very cool. 3 of the following: we have Robin Hood, Chief Bogo, aka Buy One Get One. We have Hans, 13th in line at 3 Smash, pretty cool, being a 3 ink action card. Beast Tragic Hero, Let the Storm Rage On as our 3-ofs. And then we have a couple 2-ofs in this deck. We have Cheshire Cat, the Emerald character, as a 2 ink with 3 strength and 2 willpower. And then the Shift Cheshire Cat that has 8 ink and 5 strength and 6 willpower, along with 2 Grab Your Swords. Love this list. No 1-ofs, but maybe you need 1-ofs in Lorcana right now. It seems like 1-ofs are the move because that's what first and second place was playing. But wow, I love to see Emerald Steel making waves in the meta. I know a lot of people were on this deck, and I know a lot of people definitely are putting respect on this deck's name now. I've been seeing it a lot at locals last format, and this format, it's actually going to start making big waves, I think, because Beast Relentless is a little bit slept on. I think we just got to figure out the right ratios with this list, and bam, you're going to have a solid Emerald Steel list that can run your opponent run your opponent's pockets, in my opinion, bro. That Beast Relentless can get you from like 5 to 15 lore in one turn sometimes. It's kind of wild. Chief Bogo combined with your floatborn characters like Jafar and Tinkerbell just deals an immense amount of damage to the opposing decks, especially the ones that don't play any resist. So pretty cool deck in my opinion. I want to try it out on Pixelborn Ladder. We have our 4th place list here. This is going to be a Amber Amethyst list, very similar to the one we saw from the Nat 20 games, and a very aggressive deck list. Seems very consistent. It's playing 4 of the following: Lilo, Stitch New Dog, the Queen, Maleficent Bidding Her Time, Pascal. Those are all 1-drops, by the way. We have 4 of the following 2-drops: Simba, Madam Mim, Snake, Pinocchio. We have 4 Arthur, that's a 3-drop. 4 Merlin Goat, that's a 4-drop. And then we have the Queen, Commanding Presence, Rockstar Stitch, and Friends on the other side to round off our 4 ofs. There's also a couple cards in here that we play in only 3s, like Madam Mim Fox and Rapunzel. And last but definitely not least, we play 2, Be Our Guest. Very cool list. I'm going to start trying this on Pixelborn Ladder because I like playing aggressive decks. I feel like the faster you can climb, the faster you can test against the other meta. And sometimes you just got to be able to win those rounds, man. I love playing aggressive decks for tournaments as well. I hate going into time. So when you play a deck like this, you know your games are going to finish faster than others. You know you're probably not going to go into time. So I like playing games. I like playing decks like this for that reason. We have 5th place here with an Emerald Amethyst deck list. Ooh, this is very spicy. Love to see this one. It seems like we're hitting a very diverse meta too. Reminds me obviously of the Emerald Amethyst list we were playing last format, but instead of Rafiki and Zeus and cards like that, it looks like we're playing the Madam Mim Fox package like we thought. So it is going to play 4 of the following cards: Pascal, Flynn Rider, that's the 2 Ink Flynn, Maleficent, Sorceress, for Merlin Go, Cusco, and Vicious Betrayal, and Friends on the other side. Pretty cool. Then we have 3 of the following: the 1 Ink Olaf. We also have Arthur, Madam Mim Fox, Cheshire Cat, Pete, John Silver, Bounce as our 3 ofs, and then we play 2 of the following: Duke of Weselton, Pinocchio, Enchantress, Hans. We also have 2 Genie and 2 Ring the Bell. Pretty cool. No 1-ofs in this deck. I like that they're playing the Vicious Betrayal Pete combo. Seems like something pretty impactful if you're playing 4 Vicious Betrayal. And I imagine there's scenarios where you're using Vicious Betrayal in combination with like a Madam Mim Fox, or maybe to get value off of like a Flynn Rider or a Duke that's been sitting on the board for a while. So Vicious Betrayal maybe not the worst card right now in the meta. And comboing it off with Pete means that you're going to be able to quest for 4 lore with Pete if you just give him 1 Vicious Betrayal. So that can be pretty scary if your opponent's not reading into it, right? Check out this 6th place list. This is going to be a Ruby Emerald Evasive list. Wow, this is kind of cool, actually. I've seen lists like this being shared on Twitter, and I'm glad to see that it's been making its waves at tournaments. So we have 4 of the following: Flynn Rider, Minnie Mouse as our 1 Ink characters, Cruella DeVille, Enchantress as our 2 Ink characters, Cheshire Cat, Jasper, Minnie Mouse, the new evasive character, as our 3 Ink characters, Tinkerbell, most helpful, Pongo, Cusco, Pete, Ray, Goofy, and Genie. All of those we play in 4s. That's pretty cool. Then we have a couple cards that we're playing in 2 ofs. We don't have any cards that we're playing in 3 ofs. So we have 2 LeFou, and then we have 2 of the 4 Ink Ratigan that also has evasive. So this is just a straight up evasive deck. Like almost every character per turn. You can play an evasive character almost every turn. Well, actually, after turn 3, you can pretty much play an evasive character every turn, except like turn 5. Oh yeah, you have Ray. That's cool. Yeah, so turn 3 you play Minnie, turn 4 you can play the Ratigan, turn 5 you can play Ray, turn 6 you can play Genie, and you'd be playing an evasive character every time, right? Evasive strategy. You guys let me know what you think of this. He's not playing anything to bump up your Pete as well. I don't see any cards in here that give Pete more strength, so you're just using Pete probably for his ability to quest for 2, and that he has Ward. He's a pretty big body that has Ward. I think it's a pretty strong card. So evasive strategy coming in hot in the new meta. We have a Ruby Amethyst deck profile. This one looks very control based. This deck is playing 4 of the following: Pascal, LeFou, Queen of Hearts, a 2 Ink character, 4 Arthur, 4 Madame Mim Fox, Maleficent Sorceress, the Rabbit from Merlin, Maui Hero to All, 4 of the shiftable Queen of Hearts. This is the 5 character. 4 of the shiftable Yzma, Elsa, Dragonfire, Friends on the Other Side, Be Prepared. Those are all going to be your 4 ofs. And we even have some cards that come in threes like Minnie Mouse, Madam Mim, Snake. We also got the Minnie Mouse that's shiftable. Wow, this character you can shift on turn 2 into a Minnie Mouse, and it'll gain 2+ lore if you activate 2 actions in that one turn. And you can just keep questing with it. I wonder why they went ahead and played that. I wonder if it's just because of the evasive strat. Maybe just it's sticky and it stays on board. Okay, pretty interesting. And then we also have 3 of the Merlin Goat. Cool. And then we were playing cards in 2s. There's only one card that we play 2 of. It's going to be the Sorcerer's Spellbook. I like to see the way Ruby Amethyst has come compared to last format. Like it's come very far, right? We're no longer like waiting until turn 7 for Be Prepared. You can develop a board starting from like turn 1 all the way to turn 5 and 6, like very efficiently. You know, that's why you play cards like Pascal and Madam M Snake and then Minnie Mouse, because you're able to get value from them as you go from turn 1 to turn 7. You know, so you don't really have to wait. You don't really have to ink past anymore with this deck, which is really cool. Love to see the Arthur package making a huge impact in the meta already in the opening week. And last but not least, we have 8th placed from this UK tournament with 37 players. This is going to be a Emerald Ruby deck that is playing Pain and Panic. Kind of cool, right? So there's going to be 4 of the following: Enchantress, 2 ink Flynn Rider, 3 ink Cheshire Cat, 3 ink Minnie Mouse with Evasive, Tinkerbell Most Helpful, Cusco, Pete, Ray, and Mother Knows Best. And then we have 3 of the following: Flynn Rider, Minnie Mouse as your 1 ink characters, Pain as a 2 ink character, we have Panic as a 3 ink character, we also have Hans, Pongo, Mad Hatter, and Genie, all coming in 3s for this deck. And then we don't have anything else. That's going to be the very consistent deck list. It seems like we're really focused on playing the most amount of impactful cards in this list. So Pain and Panic combo, I wonder how effective this was. If you guys know how good this deck is, please leave a comment down below and let me know how powerful Pain and Panic combo is. I'm going to try this deck out on ladder, if anything. That's pretty cool. Last but not least, we have a tournament from the Battle Bear event that was held in Europe, I believe. I'm not sure exactly where this was, but I know this wasn't in the United States. So this tournament consisted of 102 players. It was in Germany. There we go. Shout out to Musha Report, man, for bringing us the best info. That's pretty cool, man. Whenever I gotta find info on any events or any news happening in Lorcana, Musha Report is on it. So pretty cool event, man. 100+ players at this Lorcana constructed new format event, and these are going to be the top 8 deck lists, starting with first placed. Wow, can you believe it? We have another Emerald Amber deck list that got first place. Pretty cool, man. This deck is extremely powerful. Amber in general being one of the most powerful colors in the Lorcana sphere right now. I think this lemon lime version of a mid-range aggro discard style deck is very popular and not necessarily slept on, because we knew the discard deck was going to be poppin' in Rise of the Floodborn. But how poppin' is the question? How good is this deck? Obviously good enough to get first place, so congrats to you, Hendrik Fu. I love to see it. We are going to be playing 4 of the following: Flynn Rider, the 2 ink character, the Queen, commanding presence, Flynn Rider, the 1 ink character, Daisy Duck, Flynn Rider, the Floodborn character. There's 4 in there. And then we also have 4 of the Queen Goons, 4 Sudden Chill, and 4 You Have Forgotten Me, and 4 Hypnotize combo to make sure that your Prince John is always going off, right? We have 3 of the following: Mickey Mouse True Friend, Simba Protective Cub, Rapunzel Gifted with Healing. There's also Grand Duke in 3 of this deck, Enchantress, and Mother Knows Best. And last but definitely not least, we play the King Goon himself, Emperor Cusco at 2. Pretty nice. Love to see this. If you guys didn't know, the Grand Duke is going to give Emperor Cusco and Prince John a hefty strength boost. So when they have to challenge these characters, or when you have to make some trades, you can drop Grand Duke and get a little bit more value off your characters. I do believe the Queen, commanding presence, also gets a little power bump from Grand Duke. So wow, there seems to be a lot of synergy here. Even the 1-drop Queen gets some power from there. That's pretty neat, actually, because if you're playing the 1-drop goons, if you're playing the Queen Queen Goons on turn 1, and then you play Grand Duke on turn 2, that Queen Goons is going to be a 1/3/2. You can get some sick value off of that, in my opinion. You can bump into an opposing Simba, get those good trades going. Pretty cool deck. Very interesting. Very interesting to see this style of innovation. Obviously, we expected the discard deck to make a wave in Rise of the Floodborn, but to get first placed, wow. Very cool. Very cool. Second place, we have a Ruby Amethyst deck by Philip H. It's going to be playing 4 of the following: Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, Maleficent Sorceress, Archimedes, Gaston, Maui Hero to All, Merlin Rabbit, Madam Mim Fox, Merlin Goat, 4 of the Cusco Amethyst card that lets you draw a card, 4 Yzma, scary, or scary Yzma, 4 Dragonfire, Friends on the other side, and Be Prepared to round off those 4 ofs in this deck. And then we have a couple cards that we play in 3s like Arthur, 3s and 2s like Arthur. We also have 2 Elsa, 2 Madam Mim Dragon, and only 1 Sorcerer's Spellbook. Again, not a fan of the one-ofs in Lorcana, but hey, if you're going to play a one-of in Lorcana, I think this might be the one. This card is so good. It just completely advances your win condition. And in a deck like Ruby Amethyst, you just control the board every turn and then gain 1 lore, gain 1 lore, gain 1 lore. Love it. Probably a great way to finish the game off against an opponent. Using that in combination with Arthur and Merlin Goat lets you gain lore a lot quicker than having to play those slow evasive characters like last format, right? So now we have a third place. We have, oh no, sorry, it's gonna be top 4. So top 4 by Nikolai Fisher. It's playing 4 of the following: Rockstar Stitch, Stitch New Dog, Tinkerbell Giant Fairy, Ariel Spectacular Singer, Queen Commandant Presence, Cinderella Ballroom Sensation, Queen Goons, Grab Your Swords, Zero to Hero at 4, Let the Storm Rage On at 4. We have a couple 3-ofs in this deck as well, like Carefree Surfer Stitch, Simba Protective Cub, Cinderella Stout Hearted, Rapunzel Gifted with Healing, and World's Greatest Criminal Mind. And we're rounding that off with Whole New World at 3 as well. And I don't think, no, we are not playing any 2-ofs in this deck. Last, we were playing only 1 Strength of the Raging Fire. So I've seen this, we saw this before in another list. Only 1 Strength of the Raging Fire. Oh, and 1 Cinderella Knights in Training. That's going to be the 2-drop Cinderella that lets you draw a card and discard a card. So that Cinderella is pretty good too, because you can shift it. It's a Cinderella card as well. But only playing 1 and only playing 1 Strength of a Raging Fire. Don't really see it. Not sure why you're doing that, but great list nonetheless. I love Amber Steel, this format. So powerful. Is it still the best deck though? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe not. It seems like it's winning events, but it also seems like it's not winning events. In the first tournament we saw, there wasn't a single Amber Steel list. The second tournament, Amber Steel was first place, and in this tournament, we don't see Amber Steel until the top 4. So you know, it's everywhere. It's a diverse meta right now, guys. If you're the better player and if you're building the better deck, you know, you're making these better deck choices, you're probably going to be able to win these tournaments and or have a better record than some of the other meta decks from last format, right? So now we have another top 4 list, a Ruby Amethyst list by Julian Mash. So we have 4 of the following: Maleficent Sorceress, Archimedes, Elsa, Ursula Power Hungry, Merlin Rabbit, Mim Fox, Merlin Goat, Shere Khan, Felicia, Queen of Hearts. That's the 5 in Queen. Oh, both Queen of Hearts we play at 4. Friends on the other side, Be Prepared. So we also have a couple cards that we're playing at 2, like Magic Mirror. That's going to be all actually. And then we have a couple cards we're playing at 1, like Ursula's Cauldron, and 1 Maleficent Monstrous Dragon. I wonder why only 1 Maleficent Monstrous Dragon, not 4. Very interesting, very interesting. Seems like a list that is definitely taking advantage of Shere Khan by playing cards like Felicia, which you can leave on the field turn 1 and get some value by turn 3. They're basically gaining lore from Felicia while you're also probably clearing some pretty powerful characters. The 2 Queen of Hearts cards are pretty good when you're comboing off with Shere Khan. This deck in general is pretty scary. The Ruby gains lore really fast now in a variety of ways, and if they can control your board all the way until they start dropping Elsas and Ursulas, then they're just questing for 3 every time, and then sometimes you don't even see lethal coming at you yet because they're at 16 lore and you're thinking they don't have lethal, but they start dropping Merlin Goats. They start playing Shere Khans, and now all of a sudden every time they challenge with their charged characters like Maui or Queen of Hearts, they gain a lore. So deck is very fast, a lot faster than it was last format. Another Ruby Amethyst made top 8. This is by Manuel Schultz. This is kind of cool. We have 4 of the following: Maleficent Dragon, Maleficent Sorceress, Maui Hero to All, Merlin the Goat, Scary Yzma, 4 of the Charge of the Rush Queen, 4 Be Prepared, Friends on the Other Side as well. We also played 3 of the following. We have Jetsam, Elsa, Spirit of Winter, Mother Gothel, Madam Mim, the Fox, Felicia, by Felicia, Queen of Hearts, the 5 ink character, and Lady Tremaine, the 6 ink character, along with Sorcerer's Spellbook at 3. And then we played 2 of the following: Dinner Bell, Ursula, Power Hungry. Wow, very cool list, very cool list. This is what I'm talking about. When I see 3 Sorcerer's Spellbook, I get excited. We're also playing 2 Scar, Vicious Cheater. That's pretty cool. That's the new Scar character. Wow, I didn't expect to see deck lists play 4 Be Prepared and multiple versions of multiple Scar, Vicious Cheater in their deck. I thought it was going to be you kind of have to play one or the other, but hey man, it's looking like maybe you can play both in the same deck, right? Pretty cool list. That Scar, Vicious Cheater, I think combos out very well with something like Shere Khan, so I'm surprised I don't see Shere Khan in this list, but nonetheless, cool top 8. Very interesting to see where Ruby Amethyst is going this format. Now we have another top 8 Amber Steel list. This one looks very similar to the list we just saw in top 4, playing 4 of the following: Rockstar Stitch, Stitch New Dog, Tinkerbell Giant Fairy, Ariel Spectacular Singer, Queen Commanding Presence, 4 Queen Goons, 4 Cinderella, Ballroom Sensation, and then we have to play 4 Whole New World, right? And the other decks play 3, and then 4 Grab Your Swords. There was also a couple cards we're playing in 3 ofs in this deck, like Carefree Surfer Stitch, Simba Protective Cub, Cinderella Stout-Hearted, Rapunzel, Benja, World's Greatest Criminal Mind, Let the Storm Rage On, and 3 Lantern. Love to see the 3 Lantern. And look, they're also playing 1 Strength of a Raging Fire and 1 Cinderella. I wonder if these 2 players knew each other. I wonder if they were working together on the deck lists. The deck lists seem very similar, like similar to the point where maybe they were in the same car and they were cooking up the same deck, in theory. And there's only slight changes here, but it seems like both players did very well with similar deck lists. So I've been looking to find the correct deck list for my Amber Steel deck, and quite frankly, I've just been getting very frustrated on Pixelborn Ladder because it feels like everybody's playing against me. But yeah, this deck is very powerful. I think being able to use Whole New World on turn 2 because you're shifting your queen, or being able to set up Cinderella Ballroom Sensation in combination with Let the Storm Rage On, or any other card like Strength of a Raging Fire, is just really, really powerful in the early game, man. Sometimes when you can control the early game tempo, like, you just kind of secure the bag really, really quickly. We have another Amber Steel list that made top 8. Looks very similar, playing 4 of the following: Stitch Rockstar, Stitch New Dog, Giant Tinkerbell, Ariel Spectacular Singer, Queen Commanding Presence, Cinderella Ballroom Sensation, Let the Storm Rage On, Whole New World, and Queen Goons, along with Grab Your Swords at 4. There's also a couple 3 ofs in this deck, like Simba Protective Cub, Cinderella Stout-Hearted, Rapunzel, Lanterns, and a World's Greatest Criminal Mind. And we can't forget to not play cards at 1, right? Might as well play cards at 1 because, hey, this is Lorcana, so we're gonna play 1 Strength of a Raging Fire, 1 Cinderella Knight in Training, and 1 Mufasa, the legendary Mufasa that just got released in Rise of the Floodborn. We are playing 1 of him in this deck. If you don't know what Mufasa does, when he gets banished, you may reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a character, you can play it. If it's not a character, you don't play it. Pretty cool card in my opinion. Playing it at 1, not sure why. Maybe I personally want to see another Cinderella just in case you want to shift it, right? But nonetheless, congrats to you, Julian Hammer, for making this top 8 with Amber Steel, putting Mufasa on the map, right? Mufasa's a cool card. I definitely want to see that card make a little bit more of an impact. And now we have our last list of the day. We have Dennis Heckard with Amethyst Ruby, playing 4 of the following: Pascal, Maleficent Sorceress, LeFou, Maui, Shere Khan, Merlin Rabbit, Merlin Goat, Mim Fox, Be Prepared, Friends on the Other Side, Madam Mim, and Pinocchio. We're also played 3 of the following: Olaf and Arthur, and we also have 2 of the following characters: Chip the Cup and Merlin Squirrel. Wow, this is the first list I see that's playing Merlin Squirrel, and the first list I see that's playing Chip the Cup. I wonder why you're playing so many 3 ink characters though. Is it that necessary? Are there that many aggro decks? You probably expected a lot more aggressive decks in the beginning because you really have to out those with your early game, but nevertheless, yes, check out this list. This is a straight up Merlin Madam Mim lore deck. It doesn't seem like you're really trying to control the board and get all the way to Maleficent Dragon, Ursula, Elsa. You're just trying to quest for game as soon as you can, right? Now that's probably why you play so many 1/8 characters, because you want to be able to combo off as much as possible with Madam Mim Snake and Madam Mim Fox and Arthur. And it's a lot easier to do when you're playing cheap characters, because by the time you're at turn 4, you could just play Arthur Chip. Turn 5, Arthur Squirrel. Turn 6, Arthur Pascal Olaf. You know, you start using your low ink characters to be able to combo off a lot easier. It makes the deck a lot faster. Being able to play Pinocchio, next turn you quest Pinocchio, bounce it back with the Madam Mim Snake, play it again. Very cool. A very cool interaction to be able to ready some of your high lore characters. But that is going to be it for these 3 top 8 deck profile tournament review meta breakdowns. Wow. We went over 3 tournaments in this video. It was a little jumbled up. I apologize, but thank you guys for sticking around. Some pretty cool deck lists here on the Lorcana news feed that I've been seeing, and I'm really excited to see what's to come in the future of the metagame. Let me know if there's any lists here you thought were really cool or you're going to be trying, and I'm personally probably going to be trying some of these on Pixelborn. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you yourself are a Lorcana goon. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Kevin, and we will see you goons next time.